Okay, so CLNV faced a pretty sharp decline today, and I can see why. But also, there are very positive catalysts coming in that can lead the price action to a continuation to the upside. And I can already see also that there is a potential short term downside before a bounce. Let's go ahead and go over those right now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a CLNV technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this Hump Day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys. So, I'm looking at a potential down. I'm looking at the reason for the downside as to be more of a I would say day trading, institutionally and retail based action, right? So, and the reason why I say that is because this moving average here is the SMA 50, and this moving average here is the SMA 200, right? So whenever you get the 50 to cross below. Yeah, whenever you get the 50 to cross below the 200, that is considered to be a death cross. Okay, so usually day traders look for a death cross like this to get short the asset for that duration of time. So this actually just happened yesterday, right? And it makes sense as to why everybody got that idea to actually lead the price action towards the downside. And of course, today the price action continued to the downside because it's continuing below the SMA 200. Okay, so this is it's a trading strategy that is often looked at, and this actually defines whether the trending market is bearish or bullish for the asset in an overall picture, since it is on the daily and it's looked at professionally on the daily. Okay, so in this case, yes, unless there was a negative catalyst that came out that was company specific, then I would understand why the price action would lead towards the downside. But I'm giving you the perspective from professional traders, right? And I'm not calling myself a professional. I'm just saying that institutionally professional, like them, right? They're heavy money, they're big money, so they would be able to short positions based on this strategy here, right? So. All right, so now the reason why I'm saying that there could be a limited downside here is because particularly the RSI, right? So you can see that the RSI, the signal itself, the cyan line, versus the SMA 14, represented by the pink line within the RSI, they're relatively close to each other, right? So on the daily time frame, price action can continue to the downside here ever so slightly and face a support from not only the SMA 14 but also the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile. So this gravitational zone here could be an area of support alongside the SMA 14 before a bounce to the upside. Okay, so now please remember that this is just an RSI, and there is also a very large moving average strategy happening as we speak, right? So these we have to kind of weigh them out and see what's happening. Aside from that, we are getting a pretty sharp decline here on the daily stochastic momentum too. What I would like for you to notice is that the downside on the SMA 14 is a lot more significant than the EMA 3, the exponential moving average 3 period. And the reason I'm pointing this out is not because the heavier time frame is going to weigh over the smaller one. It's because in an indicator, the EMA 3 is the leading indicator, meaning that it reacts closer to the price action currently at hand, right? So in this case, also the fact that it's an exponential moving average, meaning that exponential moving averages take into account more sensitivity to the price action at hand than the simple moving average, and that being a simple moving average of a higher period, 14-day close. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that there is a possibility to where this downside is limited. If we go back in time frames here, see the 12-hour is also suggesting a very similar support as the daily time frame too. The 8 hours should be as well. Actually, the 8 hour is bleeding continuously here. So in fact, we would have to rely on the 12-hour and the daily, even up to the bi-daily, which I think would be a little far away, right? So, oh no, wow, the bi-daily is actually showing that same support as well. But notice how the bi-daily has an upside pivot on stochastics. So that's and also the money flow index versus stochastics. Notice how the histogram in the background is showing that there is an inbound disbursement of returns, right? So this is not bad. It's looking okay. All right, but I still would have to warn, and I still have to express my concern over the death cross on the daily, right? So that usually poses a pretty serious threat to an asset. But there's also a lot of good fundamental news coming out for this asset. Okay, so that's also another thing that we should keep in mind. So immediate short-term time frame, you guys, we're getting overextended. We have increasing volatility here, of course, towards that downside because we got that immediate sharp sell-off. Let's look at the bi-hourly time frame. Bi-hourly time frame also showing a sharp decline here, increasing volatility towards that downside as well. But I would like for you to notice that there is some type of curvature happening here that could be indicative of a potential floor being found soon, right? I'm not saying that this is the floor. I'm just saying that we are at a critical support here, of which can continue to the downside even still to about 329 to, I would say, the space of about 303. Okay, so now let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. Let's see the 4-hour time frame sharp decline as well. The 6-hour time frame has a downside pivot as well. And now, okay, well, this is actually a pretty good sign starting on the 6-hour. Downside pivots on the RSI and the stochastic momentum while volatility is starting to decrease. So that means that there are less shares being traded towards the downside. Okay, so that's it's only based on these indicators though. Okay, so we're just going to have to be very careful over what we're seeing here. Remember, failure of the range of about 3, I would say failure and starting to close shorter time frame candles like the hourly, bi-hourly candles below 320, that would essentially suggest a continuation to the downside to retest our current lows of about 303. All right, you guys. So I just need you to be aware that I'm just expressing over what the charts are saying. I don't know anything fundamentally about the asset, and I never ever practice fundamental analysis in company specific things, right? Other than really specific niche things like partnerships, mergers, share buybacks, forced share recalls, management changes, things like that, right? So. Yeah, but if it isn't things like that, then I really don't practice it, right, you guys? But this is what I'm seeing in the charts. I hope that we can actually find that support and not fail that 320 level, as there is also a support from the Fibonacci level the not 236 at 323, right? So another good thing to mention here is the fact that we are sitting. This is actually good for the bulls, right? So we are sitting in the golden pocket right now. So the golden pocket is located between the not 382 and the not 618. In this case, being between 334 and about 352. Usually the bulls like to take control from these zones here. Okay, so something to also kind of keep in mind here is that the not 618 currently is a resistance, so there could be kind of an ebb and flow here, right? There could be a little bit of a little chop period within this zone here before us trying to find that upside or downside. But seeing that things may start getting overextended towards the downside, there could be a floor found soon before us making a move to the upside. I'm going to try to keep in mind to update CLNV as soon as I can, right, you guys? It's just this asset often doesn't move, and it often finds an area and just stays to that area for days and days and days, right? So it's kind of hard to talk about an asset that doesn't move, so there's not really enough content for me to say anything in, right? So I want to wish you well. Remember, guys, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos. It's just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell hold any assets, right? I'm not sure if I even said that, but I need you to do your due diligence, and everything will be cool, you guys. But with that said, I wish you a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.